Tuesday night was a goaltending battle extraordinaire, and the Predators prevailed in overtime 3-2 over Montreal. Tonight, it gets no easier for Nashville. They go against the highest scoring team in the NHL and the club with the best record on home ice, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Predators Lightning next on Fox Sports Tennessee. Welcome to you from Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. It's the Nashville Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning going at each other tonight. And our telecast, as usual, brought to you by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. Fans make their way into Amalie, and we talk about top teams. Take a look at the NHL overall at the top and where Tampa and Nashville match up. The numbers too tiny to make a slice there, really, when you get down to it. Steven Stamkos, #1 center for the Lightning, preparing in the Lightning room downstairs here. And we go down the hallway and see Philip Forsberg, who ended the proceedings on Tuesday night against Montreal. Good evening, everybody. Along with Stu Grimson, I'm Pete Weber. Thank you for joining us here on the start of a 2-game road trip for Nashville. They'll be in Washington late Saturday morning. But to this game tonight, Stu, spiders doing push-ups in a mirror, you think?
Something like that, absolutely. You come out of the Montreal game, that's pretty stiff competition. Add another degree of difficulty here, but important to have a look back at Montreal. Some key performances from key guys. Matty Ekholm has added a good deal to his game. Terrific read, watching teammates evacuate the offensive zone. What a great individual play to get it in behind. And here's defense partner Ryan Ellis, collects it there for the tire, just lobs it at the net. Great read here. Game knotted at 2. We're into extra time. Overplaying the defenders are the Tampa penalty killers. Sorry, the Montreal penalty killers. Slide it down. Yossi does to Ribeiro. Ribeiro executes, as does Forsberg. Terrific read to avoid the pressure up top, get it down underneath, and that ends up being your game winner. Smart play by a smart group. Ribeiro and Forsberg.
This is what it looks like, what we are able to divine anyway, in the pregame line rushes for tonight.
From last contest versus Montreal, Victor Stahlberg's going to be reinserted. He goes back in the Yarncroke line. Santorelli will be on the right side. Arvidsson's actually going to move up. Fisher, Wilson on his left side. And we're going to see Smith reunited with past line mates Mike Ribeiro and Philip Forsberg. That'll form the #1 unit for Nashville.
So with Stahlberg back in the lineup tonight, because of emergency recall, hope you're with us on the pregame show about that. Kevin Fiala has now been reassigned from emergency recall to Milwaukee. Okay, to the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's one name that is dominant there, and that's Steven Stamkos.
I suspect you're going to hear us talk about the depth of the center ice position for the Tampa Bay Lightning a fair bit tonight. First line center playing the one hole is Steven Stamkos. He is lethal, second leading goal scorer in the NHL. Skate, pass, shoot, terrific shot. Probably one of the most lethal releases in all the NHL today. He's just got a great feel for the back of the net. He now 4th 40-goal season in his career.
Tyler Johnson was untouted.
Absolutely untouted. Don't you wish all undrafted free agents would work out this way? He's 67 points, just like #1 center Steven Stamkos, playing in the 2-hole, Tyler Johnson. He, too, has had a remarkable impact, leads the group with respect to points total this season.
And let's not also talk about those guys in terms of plus-minus. Phenomenal numbers there, whether you like that particular metric or not.
They really are remarkable. Look at the Tyler Johnson line. Kucherov, Palat on the other side. You're talking about #2, #3, #4 in terms of plus-minus. These guys are good on the offensive and defensive side of the puck. That's remarkable.
Okay, folks, you can head to the refrigerator, but get right back. Predators and Lightning coming up in just a few moments from Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida.
Rene, once again, he is 39-15-4 on the year. His last time out was an overtime win versus the Montreal Canadiens. He stopped 27 shots of the 29 he faced that night. 3-2 win in overtime again for Rene and the Predators. Ben Bishop gets the start for the Tampa Bay Lightning. 36, 11, and 4 on the year. He stopped 25 of 28 shots his last time out. That was a 5-3 win versus Boston. That was March 21 for Ben Bishop. And I'll tell you what, with 36 wins, he's no stretch to be included in the Vezina discussion.
And we're about ready for the puck to be dropped. Wes McCauley, Chris Rooney. Referees tonight, Scott Cherry and Brian Murphy on the lines. As Valtteri Filppula, the longtime Detroit Red Wing, will take that face-off away from Mike Ribeiro. Matt Carl dumps it in the Nashville zone.
Paquette newly inserted back into the mix for the Tampa Bay Lightning, leaning heavy on Forsberg. That's a matchup John Cooper's looking for without question.
Coming out from behind the net, and that pass deflected before it could get out to Jason Garrison. Wide to the left wing corner. Filppula tried to get there to the blue line instead, and that's deflected wide from the left point. Out to the blue line, tipped up in the air. Lightning managed to keep it in until Philip Forsberg takes it away and lobs it out.
Good play by Roman Josi. Great gap control within the Preds defensive zone. Up tight on Filppula, turns that puck over, allows Nashville to clear and reset for the Gostad line.
Taylor Beck out. Matched up right away with Ryan Callahan. And now it is Bourque going down, trying to get the puck. As cutting through there was Paul Gostad. Down the left wing side, and that shot glances off the glove of Pekka Rinne. The shot taken by Alex Killorn.
Good bid by Killorn from the outside. Causes Rinne to reach for the outer left side of the net.
Coming back from the line, Stamkos. Forced wide. Now he'll go off to the change after dealing back to the D. Hedman comes on, the defenseman, and that one blockered away by Rinne, and then fungoed out of there. Nice play down low by Cody Franson.
Terrific play by Franson. He's in a good spot as that puck bounces off of Rinne, and then it's a backhand fungo, Pete.
Yes.
Out of the zone. Great chance to clear for Nashville.
Schuster coming down, pinching from the right defense position, and there's a shot by Tyler Johnson broken up in front. Shoveled off the board by Colin Wilson for Nashville. Arvidsson was in pursuit of it. Fisher to the front of the net. And Ekholm winds it low. Taken away by Fisher. And Johnson tipped his pass back. Lightning now with their fourth line out. Up the left side, just angled out. Off the stick there of Ellis. Jarnkrok goes low for Stålberg, back in the lineup tonight. Stålberg along with Santorelli on the wings. In the corner, reaching for it was Garrison. Now T.J. Brown rolls it into the zone. Drouin in position, are going after that. And a little schmozzle down there in the corner.
Well played by Ryan Ellis. Controls Drouin exceptionally well. Closes on him. That creates the separation of man and puck.
Reds the change up. 3:15 gone here in the first period. Forsberg, man in deep. Puck turned over to Ribeiro. Trying to get it back to Forsberg. It comes to the blue line and Josi. And it's in the net. Josi just skipped one into the net. Off Ben Bishop, and the Predators strike first here at 3:28. This will go down as the Predators' first shot on net.
Forsberg will cause this turnover. Watch this. This is key to the whole play. Turns back over, and it's Philip right here. There he collects it. Back to the point it goes. Quick little release by Josi. Now it goes through the body, the stick and legs of Ribeiro. I'm not sure he gets a piece of that. It's possible, but the quick little release by Josi is key in all this, not to mention the traffic provided by 63, Mike Ribeiro. Great play by the Preds. Capitalize on a turnover inside the Tampa zone.
So the Lightning, a .500 team when the opponents score first, 14-14-3. Boyle with the blast, gloved and held by Rinne. 3:41 off the clock in the first period.
Take a look at this opening goal here by the Preds. See, puck turned over right there. Ultimately, stop it right there, guys. Ultimately, this puck is going to go back out to the point to Josi, and then Yosi's going to go right back down into traffic with it. Here he goes right there. Great little release, and there you can see it go through the body of Mike Ribeiro. Fools Bishop on the short side. Quick transition by the Preds.
Here is Schuster. Quick shot, blockered away. T.J. Brown was right on the doorstep. To Schuster again. Barberio at the left point. Missing intentionally and slapped away by Rene. Drouin got a piece. And now it's taken by Gabriel Bourque. Backhanded to center, where it was almost held against the chest there by Barberio. Predators come back, and going for the rebound, it's in. Paul Gaustad tipped it home, and the Predators are up 2-0 at 4:08. Two goals in 40 seconds.
Well, another key in all this. Look at great little lob by Gabby Bourque out of the zone. It's Taylor Beck applying the pressure that creates the turnover, and then Beck simply gets it to the net. Gaustad, this is a tough play for Bishop, although if he can avoid it, don't leave that kind of rebound hanging out there for the opposition. Gaustad bangs it in behind him, out of the air. Terrific play by Gaustad to get his 4th of the season and put the Preds up 2-0, an insurance marker for Gaustad.
4:08 gone in the first. Slow start for Tampa. Now remember, the Predators scored the first 2 goals between these two teams in Nashville back in early February.
A little bit later into that contest, both second period goals here. Preds on the board.
Whoa! What was that bounce across?
Crazy. I believe that's a Colin Wilson chip into the zone. Might have caught a piece of a stanchion and ricochets towards the net. Just narrowly avoided falling in for Nashville's 3rd.
Callahan goes back for Stamkos. That quick release played to the corner, and Arvidsson comes out to center as he collided there, got knocked down by Alex Killorn. Offside Nashville at the Tampa Bay line.
Here's a last chance for Tampa. This will be fed back to Stamkos. He loves to release from that spot. Tough one for Rene to control. Fortunately, Seth Jones in good defensive posture, able to collect that and then make the play out the weak side so that the Preds can clear. Solid save by Rene. Only seen a couple of so far.
Josi takes it in. Tries to set up Stallberg breaking toward the net. Stallberg then checked by Jason Garrison. Down the left wing it comes, and to the right wing side, Kucherov. Garrison just got in. No, he did not, to keep it onside. So let's get to our Ford keys.
3 of them. Play fast all 3 zones. Preds got to play a transition team. The Tampa Bay Lightning play them fast, and they've done that exceptionally well so far. Defend, not top 6, top 9. This Tampa group is exceptionally strong. They are potent lines top to bottom, and then it really comes down to goaltending. Such a key part of this one. I'm sure we'll see that play out. Rene versus Bishop for either club to get the edge in this one. One netminder need play, outplay the other.
No icing here. Bishop in near that no goalie zone there. The skates in there, and the puck turned over. Beck tried to pass it back to himself, and Weber a shot knocked down in front. Barberio. He puts it up the board. Stamkos gives it to Callahan, who starts in on the attack. Callahan forced by Gaustad. Schuster, the defenseman, comes down low. Talk about activating defenseman. Prime example there.
These guys aren't afraid to push it down the wall inside the offensive zone.
Digging that puck out, came off the side wall, allowing Schuster to make another play. Turning inside with it, Schuster back to Callahan, deflected wide.
Oh, did Gaustad get away with one there? Callahan had actually knocked his stick, Gaustad's stick, out of his hands. Then he's trying to play that loose puck. He tugs on Callahan's stick. Could have got a holding the stick minor there. Neither ref spots it.
At center ice, Craig Smith knocked down a strangely bouncing puck. Forsberg got a little bit of that. And back in the Tampa zone for Garrison. Flipped around Cody Franson. Franson back on tonight with Ryan Ellis, at least to start the game. Filppula came off the board, and that shot off the stick of Rinne. Garrison took it, and it goes out of play. 6:41 gone here in the first. Predators, and they have made the scoring Ribeiro and Gaustad for Nashville at this point, 2-0.
The first Nashville goal. Here the play back to Josi. We'll slow it down for you as it comes back through Ribeiro. Watch right here. Ribeiro gets a little piece of this, enough to change the path of travel, and that's what fools Ben Bishop. It arrives higher than Bishop originally anticipated. Great little redirect by Ribeiro. 14th of the year for him, 57 points on the year.
And Barberio tries that strange bounce out of the corner. Johnson working the puck left side for Palat. Palat toward the slot area, but it's poked out for Colin Wilson. Sent back in by Schuster as the Lightning get back on side. Franson, Wilson, right at the line. Fisher there to help. Palat. They go back to the D, and Barberio dumps it in. Lightning out for a change, at least on the D. Backhanded out of there. And deflects in. That could tie up the D-man there a little bit. Able to respond, however, was Anton Stralman. Into the corner with that dump in, picked up quickly, and importantly so by Seth Jones. Active sticks. Stralman was making a play. Stralman backs up, and that was played with a high stick, and thus causing a stoppage here. 7:45 gone. Let's go to our injury report, brought to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. For Nashville, James Neal, Anton Volchenkov, Eric Nystrom, Victor Bartley, and Matt Cullen. Tampa Bay, Radko Gudas, Braden Coburn, Brendan Morrow, Nikita Nesterov. Now, keep in mind, if you're just joining us, again, the emergency recall situation. Predators have reassigned Kevin Fiala back to Milwaukee, as they have in the lineup tonight Victor Stahlberg, whose injury was the reason for Fiala's emergency recall.
In all that, you answer this question. Have the Predators burned one of their 4 recalls?
No.
No, emergency situation. So still remaining 4 recalls.
And folks, that's for balance of the regular season and the playoffs. Yarncroke down the board. Santorelli could not get through. Stahlberg does. Stahlberg. Some snow there in the corner. And Santorelli came over. Stamkos back to the D. Killorn up the left wing. Callahan the right. Callahan takes the pass. Pulls back to face up, and Stamkos will flip it in. Ekholm, you hear the verbal communication skills being exercised downstairs. Mattias Ekholm sends it in. Predators up 2-0. If you're just joining us, goals by Ribeiro at 3:28 and Gaustad at 4:08. As Drouin had trouble holding on to the puck, Boyle sends it back into the Tampa zone. Skating in with it now, Drouin, and his shot blocked wide by Ellis. Jonathan Drouin, Ryan Ellis. Garrison decides to go across with it. Matthew Carl tried to put it down behind the net. Forsberg there, absorbing some abuse, but still comes away with the puck. Down the right board, and we have a penalty call coming up here for hooking. Hooking the call at 9:28. Wes McCauley making the call.
Tampa, number 11, 2 minutes hooking.
Looks like that call will go against Brian Boyle. All 6'7" of Brian Boyle. He's responsible for Forsberg down low, and there you see right there on the inside, actually gets enough of Forsberg. It causes Forsberg to roll off the hook. He spins, he gets away. Not before Brian Boyle draws the hooking minor, puts Nashville on the man advantage.
Beck, Fisher, Forsberg up front. Weber and Josi at the points as the Lightning get control of the faceoff and throw it down ice.
15th in the NHL. Check that, 10th in the NHL. Tampa Bay penalty kill. News is better for the Tampa Bay Lightning. 4th overall at home when at the disadvantage.
Here's Filppula. Holding on, cutting to the middle. Now gives it right side. And that shot off the chest of Rinne as Alex Killorn got it. And Rinne keeps the puck in play.
Good play by Rinne. Reads the play, sees the turnover develop. Killorn's short side shot. Rinne's got it all covered up on the near side.
Forsberg goes to the end wall with Matthew Carle. Banked for Weber at the right point. Forsberg out high. Beck is the man in front. Josi looking. Quick try right side, and that one went off high off the stick of Filip Forsberg.
Great play. Diagonal pass by Josi to get it over to Philip. He loves that shot. Quick wrister from just above the face-off dot.
Carle able to clear. Tyler Johnson, Andre Palat, the penalty-killing forwards that stint. Now they come back out with Alex Killorn and Valtteri Filppula. Predators with their second power play. Ellis for Smith, and his shot goes wide into the corner. Ribeiro cuts to the slot area. Ellis for Ribeiro. Colin Wilson to the front of the net. 15 seconds remaining, and that one caroms back to the Nashville zone.
A little dummy play into Craig Smith in the interior. Goes down to Wilson, and then you see Wilson tries to come out and find Ellis, who's creeping down one-time side. Good stick in the lane by Tampa.
Power play has run its course. Possession continues. And Smith banked one off the pipe. Stamkos comes back. And now there's going to be a penalty called here against Nashville. And the puck comes back to center as Kucherov came back. So delay penalty. Lightning have the extra attacker on. Bishop got back to the bench. This is Hedman. And the puck played by Ribeiro. And the Predators, with 8:02 remaining in the first, have a 2-0 lead and are about to kill the first penalty against them tonight.
On the kill here under the 10-minute mark inside the first period. Seth Jones, he's responsible for Stamkos. Stamkos with the outside lane, half step on Jones. Jones with the hold on the inside shoulder, and here's a great chance. Slap pass as the power play is winding down for Nashville. Diagonally over to Craig Smith. Great shot by Smith. Cuts it too fine. It's off the crossbar and out the far side. That would have been a 3-0 score, Nashville. Like the way they moved it around, there's opportunity through the interior of that Tampa Bay four-man box.
So Gaustad and Bourque out up front. Stamkos and now Hedman coming on. Stamkos at one point. Hedman shot wide. Stamkos has to flag it down. Hedman wanted to flip it back, but Bourque got it, wasn't able to clear, and Shea Weber was.
Nice little clear by Weber, too. Great support as he's kind of pinched up in support of Taylor Beck in that battle. Little backhand lob allows the Preds to clear and reset for Killers.
Jarnkrok on now as a penalty-killing forward with Mike Fisher. Drouin working that corner. And Franson rips it around the boards and was able to get it around Stamkos.
Oh, fortunate bounce. I don't know that Franson certainly wanted to get more on that as it wraps around. Fortunately for him, nobody showing up the left point side.
Stamkos came back in quickly, but Ekholm got his stick in the way. Ekholm able to clear. Santorelli now on with Taylor Beck as a penalty-killing forward. Here's Callahan. Kucherov goes to the side of the net. Johnson back at the point. Strallman. Johnson on the half board now. Tips it back out. 35 seconds remaining in the penalty. This is Callahan. Killorn, and it bounced right toward the net. Paddle down Pekka Rinne. And taken away. Predators skate out with it. Flipped in and gloved by Bishop. He'll hold on with the Predators continuing on toward the net. Santorelli.
Here's a look for Tampa. Weber does a great job. Watch this play. He's going to cycle down. They're looking for Kucherov. Weber sticking the passing lane, and then the follow-up to disrupt Kucherov. Key play, Shea Weber. Down to 20 seconds remaining in that Tampa Bay man advantage.
Carl for Garrison. In through center, Filppula. Kept wide by Franson. To the corner, 5 seconds remaining. Power play time here for the Lightning. Garrison skates to his left. Predators get their man Jones out of the penalty box and into the defensive zone. Garrison a shot, that blocked by Bourque. Carl with the try, bounced off Stamkos in front, and taken away by Seth Jones. So the Lightning did not get a shot on goal during that power play. Predators lead 2-0. 5:35 remaining in the first period. Killorn for Johnson. Backhanded over the linesman's head, and Scott Cherry. Kucherov picks up. Palat. Kucherov comes on that shot. Late reaction there by Rinne, but he was able to make the stop. Johnson knocked down as he went up the boards. Tipped by Josi. Held in Hedman for just a moment. Diving after, trying to force it out, Josi. Kucherov with the move, and Rinne will hold on. 14:59 off the clock in the first. Predators have 3 shots, but 2 goals. They lead 2-0.
Welcome back to Tampa. The Predators leading the Lightning right now 2-0, and I'm down here on the bench with Cody Franson. Cody leading by 2 goals right now. What are you guys doing to hold the Lightning to no score right now?
You know what? They move the puck around real well, and they got a great transition game. So we're just trying to manage the puck well, not give them much with it, and keep a tight gap, and not let their speed be a factor.
Thanks so much, Cody.
Thank you.
Face-off coming up in the Nashville zone to the right of Pekka Rinne. To the right side of Rinne and put up the boards. Arvidsson, poke check from him by Hedman. Brought in by Filppula. Stick was dropped for the moment there, and as they were able to get that around, Cedric Paquette was really struggling for just a moment. As was I, but for another reason. Filppula in the corner, battled there with Fisher. Jones pulls it out of the scrum. Cross ice went that pass to Fisher. Down the left wing, backhands it on net. Bishop stops. Hedman tried to clear. Namestnikov now for Filppula. Using the boards to scale it in over the hand there of Franson. An alert to that, Pekka Rinne.
Yeah, that one actually bounces off the hand of Franson, mishandled. Rinne has to field it. A little bunt out to Franson, allow the Preds to transition.
Puck had just deflected off the linesman. Now the Predators coming down. Barberio against Santorelli. Stallberg back of the net. And the puck took a very strange bounce yet again. T.J. Brown starts it up ice, knocked down at center by Franson. T.J. Brown tried to send it in. That deflected right back at him. And now Boyle wanted to have words there. Maybe not words with Cody Franson.
I suspect you want to have more than words. I suppose the intention was physical contact of some kind.
Nothing about, sticks and stones may break my bones, right? In the corner, Taylor Beck shaking off a mugging there from Schuster.
Terrific play by Beck. Overextends, reaches hard as he's striding, and then he's able to keep the Preds in deep for another moment or two.
Poked by Josi. Gaustad didn't get all on that he wanted. Callahan, the former New York Ranger, in that Marty St. Louis deal here. Carl tries to go wide on Shea Weber, and they bounce off one another in the corner.
Well played by Weber. And look at D partner support. Roman Josi filters right in behind him, collects the puck, off they go.
Gaustad, a quick shot that was deflected, taken back of the net. Up the wall with it. As Arvidsson tries to shake free of Killorn. Robinson in the trapezoid with Fisher. Killorn comes between the two to take the puck away. I got to tell you, the bodies are bouncing pretty well here, Stu.
Yeah, that's good intensity to this one. I tell you, the Tampa Bay Lightning probably guilty of underestimating the pace of play from these Preds. They're starting to put together a little pace of their own.
Colin Wilson tried to turn in the corner. The pass was babied, came off the skate, that allowing Fisher to keep it in. Back of the net was Bishop along with Colin Wilson.
Smart play by Bishop. He realizes he himself cannot play it, but he freezes out Colin Wilson with the back of his body.
So a hand pass here, stopping the clock with 1:47 remaining in the period.
Head coach John Cooper is also a recovering lawyer. Not to mention the 8th head coach in franchise history. He was AHL Coach of the Year in 2012. That man, Peter Laviolette, was also AHL Coach of the Year in 1999. Providence Bruins won the Calder Cup 56-16-4 under Peter Laviolette, part of the Boston Bruins organization all those years ago.
Nice break for a youngster from Massachusetts. Puck held in the zone. On his backhand, Shea Weber, that bounced wide off Schuster.
Terrific play by Weber to get that deep under pressure.
Turned over down low, but the Lightning able to come away with a puck. Palat. As Taylor Beck broke his stick, picked up now, taking inside Palat, and that's stopped by Rinne. Palat all over it. Kucherov, checked by Weber. Paul Gostad comes away with the puck. Yossi across the Tampa Bay line. Off the inboard, Smith, a quick shot, hit the outside of the net. Barberio just worked it to the left board, lobbed out to center. Play with a high stick, but the Predators take the puck. Ribeiro, a little bit ahead of Forsberg. Forsberg gets some help from Craig Smith. Schuster there for Tampa Bay in the corner. Played the puck out for Valtteri Filppula. Poked away from Filppula momentarily as that stick broken down there in the Tampa zone caused some problems, at least not a very clean breakout. Nemestikov cutting into the net. Wraparound try, and Rinne diving back across, knocked it into his own net. The Lightning on the board with under 29 seconds to go in the first. It's 2-1 Nashville.
Tough break for Rinne, and he is not pleased about it either. Here come the Tampa Bay Lightning on the entry. Nemestikov's actually going to take this around the backside. Rinne overcommits, and then he tries to get back and front Nemestikov. He's coming around the backside of the net. Can't get there in time to control it. Gets a piece, but his body position, as you mentioned, Pete, he knocks it into his own net. Does Pekka Rinne, ex-Predator. I should say, father's an ex-Predator.
Yep.
Vladdy Nemestikov, father spent 2 games in a couple of years in the Preds organization, making an impact for his Tampa Bay Lightning here tonight.
So an SOP strikes. Down in the corner. Coming out of that corner, Santorelli, putting it toward the net, poke checked away by Bishop, and then Bishop, a rude welcoming, if you will, for Calle Jarnkrok. And time runs out in the first period, but the Lightning get for them a very big goal at the end.
It is a key goal, no question. Cuts the lead in half, and I'll tell you, as importantly, perhaps more importantly, the moment at which it comes. As these two teams head into the locker rooms, key reversal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Big emotional turning point in this one.
Our Mercedes-Benz of Nashville intermission interview, among other things, coming up here in our first intermission, plus a chance to listen in on a Predators practice. Welcome to our first intermission report. The Predators scoring on their first 2 shots on net against Ben Bishop with a 2-1 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Pete Weber along with Stu Grimson. What a great start for the Predators.
Really was. All kinds of pace to their game. I really like the energy from the Preds. Terrific execution. Entry, setting up in the offensive zone. And I'll tell you what, gave Ben Bishop a whole lot to handle in the early going. Here, to me, Pete, is a group that we looked at the Buffalo game, then transition into the Montreal game. Remember, through that 11-game stretch when they're kind of struggling to score, the confidence is lacking. This is a group that's got its mojo back at a key time of the year. The offense is starting to come with regularity.
He scored the second goal. Paul Gaustad downstairs for a Mercedes-Benz of Nashville interview as he's joined by Lindsay Rowley.
Thanks, guys. Paul, able to get the second goal before the collision with Ben Bishop. Talk me through that series and what led to the goal.
I think Borky did a great job of trying to get the puck out. Becker's hit created the 2-on-1, and he got a great shot off. And fortunately, I got to the rebound and put it in.
Peter Laviolette talked to me this morning about the Lightning's depth. What do you feel you guys did well in the first in order to defend all 4 lines?
Yeah, they have great depth, they have great speed. They came up pretty hard. I thought we did a good job of managing the first 10 minutes, and again, it's going to be a battle all night.
What would you like to see out of your team here in the second period to start?
A little more offensive zone time, some shots on net. I think they outshot us 12-4, so a little more shots.
Thanks so much, Paul.
Yep, thanks.
So you can get breaks, as the Predators did, but you could see it is a night of effort from Paul Gaustad and the sweat rolling down him.
Well, and we talked about defending the top 9 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, Paul's really kind of making a rather direct reference to how potent this Tampa Bay lineup is. Spent a lot of time in their own zone, the Nashville Predators did through the first 20 minutes. Number of good opportunity, good looks for the Tampa Bay Lightning. In spite of the 1 goal against, Pekka had to field some pretty, some high-grade chances and played well to start the first period of this game.
So it's a 2-1 Predators lead after 1. When we return, Captain Shea Weber mic'd up at a practice at Bridgestone Arena. You'll get the chance to sort of eavesdrop along with us in just a few moments.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
So the Predators up 2-1, and you see their record when leading after 1.
That is some pretty robust hockey. Post 20 minutes up in the score. 25-2-4 are the Preds when scoring first. Couple of key statistics to keep your eye on. This group has played well with the lead. Both teams well accustomed to playing with 1-goal leads in 1-goal games.
Yeah, exactly. Ribeiro up the left side, rolling back. This will be an icing call, waved off at the last as Carl came back.
Nice wait by Ribeiro. That's a smart play. Tough to do on fresh ice. There's no chipped up ice to really slow that puck down.
The arm dropped again, and the puck taken by Smith. Ribeiro is shot wide. Comes back rather to Ribeiro. That was the shot that went wide by Colin Wilson. Tipped onto the board. Smith to keep it at the point. And his shot deflected away in front of the net. Taken out by Nemesnikov. He has the Tampa Bay goal, but he's offside, bringing the puck in. And it's time for a little reminder, Stu.
It certainly is. It's time for Hot Ticket Time, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Right now, buy a fan zone ticket for the game on Tuesday, March 31st against Vancouver for just $35. And believe it, that's a $17 savings. Your ticket includes unlimited hot dogs, popcorn, peanuts, nachos, pretzels, and Pepsi products. To order, call 615-770-7800 or NashvillePredators.com. Hot Ticket Time.
Up the boards, and that one goes wide. This one will not get waved off. This is an icing as Hedman won the race back to the dot. And in case you're, again, joining us late, here's the scoring summary from the first period.
Mike Ribeiro gets it all started with his 14th of the year. That's 3:28 into it. Yossi with a helper on that one. Paul Gaustad, terrific backhander out of the air, 2-0. And then it's Nemesnikov cuts the lead in half.
Whoa, a shot there deflected up high on Pekka Rinne. He just was able to get his right shoulder up in time.
He was, and Weber's in a good spot immediately right there in and around the blue paint to bat that one out of harm's way, because Stamkos and company are lurking in and around the blue paint. That's a draw, one back. Quick little play by Hedman, and there you see the reaction of Rinne. He has to readjust, get down off the butterfly posture to bunt that puck out of the air, and again, get some support for Preds captain Shea Weber.
Drouin and T.J. Brown flanking Boyle. Ribeiro from outside the line. Beck sends it back to center. Boyle, former King and Ranger, and now here in the Gulf Coast of Florida. Drouin precedes him into the zone. Boyle to the net, and the pass for Barberio was tripped wide. Throwing it out in front, but who was there but Philip Forsberg for Nashville? Could not get it out. Here's the shot off the pipe there by Drouin. T.J. Brown stops it at center. So each side with some solid iron here.
What a terrific shot by Drouin. Well outside, slapper.
Smith a shot. Forsberg a try at the rebound. Puck is still loose. And finally the whistle goes. Ben Bishop under assault there.
Let's give you another look at that post. This is a terrific blast by first-round pick Jonathan Drouin, 2013. Look at it, just pounds it. He's well above the tops of the circles. Fools Rinne. He's back across his body, and then here's from the outside. Smith with the release. Look at the determination of Philip Forsberg, picking away at it, sensing that Bishop has not yet smothered up. You love that kind of determination in and around the blue paint.
Weber a shot that took off high off the draw.
No reaction from Bishop.
Stolberg made the try, and then Yarncroke tried to follow it up. And we're going to have a penalty call here. Calle Yarncroke had a shot at that rebound. And let's get the call at 2:15 of the second.
Tampa penalty number 9, 4 minutes, a double minor, high sticking.
High sticking the call. Tyler Johnson.
Here's the play by the Preds at the net. Weber pivots back, redirected. Yarncroke is all over it. You love his determination. And then here's the stick by Johnson. You know what? I'll say this in Johnson's defense. He's actually making a clear with that puck. That's a shooting, perhaps passing motion. He's permitted to do that. Player's always in control of his stick, with that one exception. If you're making a shot, making a pass, making a hockey play, that probably should not have gone against Tyler Johnson.
So it is the double minor for high sticking. Nashville a great opportunity here with the Tennessee Lottery power play. Ribeiro across. Ellis, Seth Jones. Ribeiro had two men crossing in front. Shot goes wide, and the hard rebound comes back to the Nashville end.
Don't always see that. Ribeiro liked the look. He gets it on the half wall. He brings the shot. Typically, he's a passer in that situation, looking for something diagonal, perhaps to the backside, the far side.
Boyle slowed it down. Smith gets it in, followed by Wilson, and then Boyle uses that extreme reach of his to clear.
As the Preds go on the power play, number one group had just been on the ice. Yossi, Weber. Number two group starts this man advantage for Nashville. Jones, Ellis on the back end.
Seth Jones to the left half board. And that will be cleared down ice. Alex Killorn.
Good play by Killorn. Uses his body to block out Ryan Ellis in a puck battle. Gets it, grabs it, clears it.
Yossi carries. 46 seconds remaining on the initial minor penalty. A double minor for the high stick. Beck tried to make a play. Palat could not clear it out, but he effectively got the job done with a poke check. Fisher ahead of Weber. Weber around Victor Hedman. In the corner, Schuster no. Forsberg's pass taken away. Cedric Paquette. Paquette down low. Palat there to help out. So the first penalty has 9 seconds to run.
No question in my mind, this came up in Tampa Bay Lightning first intermission discussion. They've been far more aggressive on the kill, pushing from the inside out. Preds having a hard time getting established in the offensive zone.
So the Predators did not get a shot on that first minor penalty. And Boyle clears here on the second.
A little imprecision on the part of Forsberg working with Fisher on the interior. Quick little short pass on the backhand. Fisher's unable to handle it rather. Turns it over to Tampa. Preds have to regain the zone.
Ribeiro now flipped back over and coming out right wing corner to the top of the slot around Boyle. Tapped nicely by Ellis. Ellis for Wilson. Straight away Seth Jones. That one blocked, and it comes off to the stick of Mike Ribeiro. Ribeiro coming down. Killorn is right there. Smith trying to go backdoor, but fanning on it is Ellis. A scrum for the puck and cleared down ice by Carl.
Oh, terrific play. Ribeiro goes down low to Colin Wilson. Wilson finds Ellis on the backside, creeping down. Ellis cradles it for a second. He's got his head up and doesn't realize he's lost it off the toe of his stick and misfires.
To the blue line. And flipped, and now flipped out. Palat with the job there. Here's Hedman. 25 seconds left on this Nashville advantage, but the Lightning really pressing. Tampa Bay having scored 7 shorthanded goals this season. And the crowd definitely into it. Fisher in the trapezoid. Hedman took a tap at it. And again, Palat, who's able to clear.
Key support by Andre Palat. He's down well under the Tampa Bay goal line. Even strength, our Tampa successfully killing off the double minor.
Without allowing a shot on net. Out of the corner it comes. And we have a whistle here for the icing. And a standing O from many here at the Amalie Arena for the Lightning.
Preds had their challenges, but there were opportunities with the extra man advantage. Watch Ribeiro. He's going to play it over to Ellis. Now watch the recovery right there. Little chip with one hand to get it up and around Stralman, the Tampa Bay defender. Smart play, Ryan Ellis.
Off the faceoff. Left behind the net, Shea Weber skates ahead with it. Angled over towards Santorelli. It's stopped by Barberio and taken in by Yarncroke. Calle Yarncroke, who drew that double minor for the high sticky. Santorelli swooping behind the net. Comes out on his backhand. Stops at forehand is in. He put in his own rebound to give the Predators back a 2-goal lead at 3-1. 6:47 the time of the goal in the second period.
Terrific play. Two players working together. Stallberg feeds that down to Santorelli. Comes out on the backhand. Can't get it to go. But watch the persistence here. Stallberg will lay it back to him. Watch the persistence. Santorelli. Initial backhand bid. Sticks with it. Finds a little space as he gets that rebound back. And then between the skate, the outstretched skate of Ben Bishop and the post, he's able to bang it in behind Ben Bishop. His first goal as a Nashville Predator, second tour as a Nashville Predator, and that'll effectively chase Ben Bishop in favor of Vasilevsky for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Now we should point out, of course, it doesn't count as a goal in shootouts, but he had a big score in that shootout victory at Buffalo.
You are correct. He's had an impact on the outcome without question.
So Bishop plays 6:47 of the second period, 26:47 for the game, and allows 3 Nashville goals on 11 shots.
Here's another look at that goal. I really like the determination of Santorelli. Quick step, comes around hard. You got to appreciate a player who sticks through it, sticks with it like that. Here's a good look right here. That gives you a sense of Bishop has not left Santorelli much, but Santorelli puts it in a smart spot down along the ice in that 2 or 3 inches that existed between the skate of Bishop and the inside of the post. Good for Santorelli. 6th round, 2004 in Nashville. Draft pick originally. He's been looking to contribute offensively. He's played with a lot of pace. He's had his share of looks, just hasn't been able to get it going. In terms of contributing on the score sheet, key breakthrough for him, key time of year.
So Vasilevsky, who had the entire game against Nashville at Bridgestone Arena in February, that night giving up 3 goals, including the overtime, on 29 shots against. Predators here 3 goals on 11 shots against Ben Bishop. They have a 3-1 lead in the second period.
I'll tell you what you like for Nashville on that is the timing of all that. Again, Tampa had cut the lead in half, making it a 2-1 game, but the kill that Tampa's able to...
Yes.
They get a team can get momentum out of a kill like that. That's a key moment to successfully battle and eliminate the 4-minute man advantage. A team can get some momentum coming out of that. So a key answer, a key response from Santorelli and his group.
And particularly when they did not allow a shot in that 4 minutes.
Yeah. On the other side, to your point, Pete, a club like Nashville can really, it can frustrate you if you're not able to generate something in the way of good looks, good chances on a 4-minute man advantage.
Tapped out behind Stallberg. Ryan Ellis brings it around the board and almost double dribbled there back of the net by Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky, a first-round pick of the Lightning in 2012, 19th overall. And he came from a team, you kind of know a guy who's played there. Salavat Ufa. That would be one Alex Radulov. Puck slides over for Colin Wilson. Flips in. Jabbed up the wall. Shea Weber, a shot that kicked away by Vasilevsky. Yossi back to Shea Weber. Same side. Big rebound came out up front. Kucherov puts it over to the left side as Palat will flip it into the Nashville zone.
A couple of legitimate tests for Vasilevsky here in the early going, both authored by Shea Weber from the right point side.
Out it comes to Palat. Palat calmly moving it down toward the slot. Going to draw a penalty here against the Predators, and tripping will be the call, putting the Lightning on the power play for the second time tonight. So the Predators out in front by 2. Santorelli with his 12th of the season, putting home his own rebound.
Tampa goes back on the power play. Smart play by Andre Palat. He'll catch Shea Weber flat-footed. Here's his path of travel right through here. Keeps his feet moving through traffic. Weber's flat-footed in a tough spot. He's got to reach in. Palat knows he's got him in tough defensive posture. Again, keeps the feet moving, draws the minor penalty to put his club on the man advantage. 10:45 remaining second period action.
Shots are even 13 aside as Ekholm got that around Hedman. Gaustad digging after the puck. Vasilevsky for Stamkos. And that was sort of a dangerous cut in front of the net, was it not, by Filppula?
Certainly was. High-risk play.
All the way down ice. They were actually ducking on the Tampa Bay bench.
I thought that one was going out.
Hedman sees a little extra room. Filppula down the side. Flip to the line, not out, but it deflected then. Back to center. Hedman.
Key piece of penalty killing together. Fisher closes it off on the far side. Yarncroke gets there in support to allow the Preds to clear.
Shot by Hedman, broken up out high. We see a piece of a broken stick flying by. And a whistle going to be here for playing with a broken stick, I do believe.
I might be wrong, but I think it's Killorn comes down on the stick of Jones. He might get a slash on Jones. He knocked the stick out of Jones' hands. Fisher had broken his stick on the block. Jones comes over in support. Watch this. Killorn's going to come down right there. There was a day you could get away with that. No longer. That's a slash. And with that play, Killorn effectively negates the man advantage. We'll play 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 8. Head coach John Cooper. You can tell by his countenance where he stands on that call.
In spite of being a recovering attorney?
He's on the right side of it.
Okay.
He's on the right side of it. Good for him.
The Lightning, and there's another penalty coming up here now against Nashville. You liked a lot of open ice?
Holy special teams, Batman. 4-on-3 action to come, folks.
Carl very slowly across ice. Up to center. Yossi's going to let it go.
Smart play by Josi.
Yeah.
The attempt was, I believe that's Garrison deep inside of Tampa territory. He's trying to give it back to preserve as much of the 4-on-3 as he can with Nashville touching it. Josi lays off to burn off a few more seconds. Smart play.
So Colin Wilson to the box with 10:33 gone in the second, and the Predators up 3-1.
4-on-3 action favoring the Tampa Bay Lightning. Off the draw. Wilson's coming in, carrying the stick high. He gets the Gillette single blade along the right side of Tyler Johnson's face. A rough scrape to draw the high sticking minor.
So Gostat will come out for the face-off in the Nashville end.
Key in all that, too, right as we go to break, gives the Tampa Bay Lightning an opportunity to talk about, hey, what do we want to accomplish? How do we want to set up 4-on-3 inside the Nashville zone?
Callahan, Stamkos, Hedman. Stamkos goes out high. In front of the net is Callahan. Hedman was breaking toward the net. Just 4-on-3, and the shot wide off the net and drilled down ice by Josi. Without any scoring here, as much as a minute 35 of 4-on-3.
Preds playing a 1-2 formation on the 4-on-3. Gostat is the guy up top. He'll front the forward on his side. Sorry, the defender on his side.
Stamkos, the one-timer, kicked away. That may have been going wide in any case.
It's very possible. Rene takes no chance. Gets the right pad there.
Stamkos again. What a save by Rene with Callahan right in front. Now down to 4-on-4. Seth Jones back of his net. Josi checked by Stamkos, and he was able to clear it back to the Tampa Bay zone.
Smart play. Seth Jones knows he can't clear it himself. Little chip to Josi. Josi pushes it the rest of the way out of the Nashville zone.
Coming on, Fanning Pilatus, second try, pulled it wide, short side. Given back to Seth Jones. Off the left wing, down the middle, Fisher fanned. And through the corner and across it comes now for Garrison. Now another power play for Tampa Bay. A brief duration, 25 seconds. Lightning have outshot the Predators 15-13. Rene covers that one up with 16 seconds remaining on the Wilson penalty.
Couple of key saves here on the penalty kill. There's the one perhaps wide, but watch his play transitions. This is the save of the game so far. Off the back door is Callahan. Can you believe Rene extends to get that diagonal pass? Callahan does not wait, does not cradle it. Gets it right back at the net. Rene glove save.
Face-off comes back now to Stralman. Tyler Johnson on the half board. Tried to thread one through there, and Josi is able to knock it back to center ice.
Yeah, well played by the Preds. They do a great job. Johnson's looking for Kucherov. Back door off wing side. Great job. Sticks in the lanes.
Back at even strength. Kucherov for Palat. Palat couldn't cut his way through. And the puck is cleared back to center ice again. 3-1 Nashville the lead. Shot spinning by Kucherov. Rebound off the inboard, Craig Smith. Josi carries. Right side cutting on Wilson, and his shot caught someone's stick and deflected out of play. 13:04 gone in the second.
We talked about the goal differential. Best in the league are the Tampa Bay Lightning. Big part of that is because of the second line, Tyler Johnson line, if you can believe it. Kucherov, Johnson, Palat sit number 2, number 3, number 4, just in terms of plus-minus NHL season leaders. Pretty remarkable. You're talking about 3 guys that are exceptional on both sides of the puck. And they all appear on the same line. Those are remarkable numbers.
And the Predators aren't exactly slouches. They are plus 33 in the goal differential coming into the game. Face-off pulled over for Drouin. Drouin lobs that one in. Franson had to go back to play it initially. Passed out in front for Boyle, and he scores a turnover on the inboard. Flipped out for Brian Boyle, and he converts to cut the Predators' lead to 1 at 13-19.
15th goal of the year for Brian Boyle. Smart play to chip it in deep. Francis going to make a little play back to Ryan Ellis. Deep partner can't handle it. Jammed up in a puck battle. And then it's one back to Brian Boyle, who's in a good spot. Left unchecked. Look at JT Brown. Smart play. Boyle's actually got to take this off his backhand, get it back to his forehand, and then he beats Pecorine back to the short side. Rene can't seal it up on the short, strong side. Draws the Lightning back to within 1.
Looking over the penalty timekeeper's bench for the go-ahead. They get that. And play resumes. And dunked into the Lightning bench big time. Scrambling to get out, Mattias Ekholm. I haven't seen a dump into the bench like that in a long time. Lob back into the Tampa end, and icing here against the Predators.
Paquette's been a bit of a physical force here right from the early going. Here he gets crosshairs on Mattias Ekholm. Gets a good piece of him as Ekholm's trying to gain the center red line and sends him full force. Total body up and into the Tampa Bay Lightning bench. Rough ride for Matty Ekholm. Big play on the Tampa side.
So the puck comes back inside the Nashville line. Boyle from Brown and Drouin. That came at 13-19. Lightning scoring their second goal on their 16th shot against Pecorine. Smith tried to send it toward the net. He did, but off the target. Filppula, they just get it around, and now out to Namestnikov. Filppula cutting in, swept away. Josi got a stick on it. From up the board, Smith tipped back. This is Killorn with Callahan looking for a rebound. Rene didn't allow one. 14:34 has been played of the second period. Predators have a 1-goal lead. It's 3-2. It's time for tonight's timeless moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. The Predators' first ever visit to this building. They came up with their first road shutout in team history. Sergei Krivokrasov scored there. He was the all-star that year the game played here. And Patrick Cote, you saw, score his only NHL goal. And he tried to borrow assistant coach Paul Gardner's cell phone to call his father.
I think we saw part-time radio talent Dan Kesmer in that scrum at the end of the game, celebrating that road shutout.
Dan Kesmer, who performed so well in the alumni game on February 28th.
Certainly did. Key to the victory was Mr. Kesmer on the back end.
Well, they're going for the body now. And Killorn is down after that big check at center ice. And there's going to be a penalty here. taking exception to the hit put on by Predators' Paul Gaustad.
Tell you, mid-ice collisions can be the most taxing. Gaustad's got crosshairs, sees the play, develops, spots Killorn in neutral ice, and collides with Killorn. Gaustad not happy with the call at all. Didn't get the piece of Killorn that he wanted to. And he's got his stick up above Killorn's shoulder pads as the two collide. Now, whether Killorn's body position contributes to that or not, difficult to say in the one look I had.
So a minor for roughing to Gaustad. This is power play number 5, but there have been some very short-term man advantages in the game for the Lightning.
Tell you, this is not a power play you want to see any more than is absolutely necessary. Talked plenty tonight about the weapons that this Tampa Bay group possesses. Yes, I know they're just 15th in the NHL, but Stamkos, Johnson, Palat, Filppula with the man advantage.
Here's Johnson, but in the 10 games coming in, hitting 28%. Johnson, Kucherov had to go back to the wall to play it, and that puck intercepted, cleared by Mike Fisher.
Should make clear, too, Preds with the man advantage, missing a key guy on the penalty kill. Gaustad,
yes,
is the offending party.
So Palat tipped that in. Kucherov takes it away to the blue line. And a pass blocked and then cleared out by Bourque.
Terrific job by Santorelli. Bourque is the beneficiary of that turnover because Santorelli's applied the pressure on the right point side directly in front of the Tampa Bay bench.
Drouin down the Predators' defensive right, and Seth Jones clears that all 200 feet.
Key piece, 30 seconds or so worth.
Picked off by Beck. Predators tag up as Weber shot it back in. 45 seconds remains. So Killorn, who was hit on that play at center ice, puck slid away for Josi. Time and space and just wide of the Tampa net to clear. Edmund dropped it back. Drouin cuts in. Getting through a bit of traffic. Fisher using the boards. It almost, I think, went off the bottom of that huge scoreboard here at Amalie Arena. Ekholm in that corner. Gave it to Mike Fisher. Enough room to get it back out to center, and it's offside as Edmund tried to play it back in. Atlanta Braves opening day is around the corner. Monday, April 6th. Watch the Atlanta Braves as they face the Miami Marlins in the first game of the regular season. Coverage at 2 p.m. Central on Monday, April 6th. Braves opening day only on Sports South. Face off at center. Ekholm flips it in. Young Garrison, Carl. To that corner, Arvidsson pressuring the play.
Smart play, Ryan Ellis pushing down the left point side.
Mesnikov recovered that puck that initially was tapped away. Mike Ribeiro with the active stick there. Ellis, backhand feed to center. Predators tag back up. Wiseman drops his hand from the offside, and Mesnikov put it behind the Nashville goal. Carl back to retrieve. 2:20 remaining in period number 2.
What a great play, Calle Jarnkrok. Outlet pass. Carl trying to go down the middle. Outstretched, one hand on his stick. Jarnkrok knocks it out of the air. Preds are able to regain.
Palat lost it, trying to enter the zone. Santorelli breaking up for the pass. Deflects away. Here's Palat for Tampa Bay, and he throws it in. Rene decides he better cover it with Palat coming on initially.
Brian Boyle, number 11 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, author of the second goal, draws the Lightning back to within a single goal in all this one. Signs with the Bolts. Free agency last summer, 2014. His 15th of the year. Career high for him, 21 goals, 35 points with the New York Rangers back in 2010-11. Can you imagine, Pete, getting 15 goals and still some space remaining in the season from your number 4 center?
Yeah, and on top of that, how did he get to be so big? He comes from a family of 12. Can you imagine the competition at the dinner table?
Oh my gosh. Clearly, he got to the roast beast first.
From the left side, rolled in there, Forsberg. A minute 40 remaining in the second. Trying to step around Schuster. Fisher got tripped up. Cleared out by Killorn. Trying to hone in on that Stamkos, and he almost did. Schuster had it, but could not hold it. Colin Wilson. Down the right side to Weber, and Weber's shot was blocked. Sliding across, Ryan Callahan. And again, with Shea Weber taking a shot like that, they have to question not Callahan's bravery or valor, but perhaps his intelligence. Up to center ice, stopped outside the line. Palat. The stick was dropped down there. Johnson with Kucherov to the net, and that was fired away wide. Palat comes down the left board, and his shot lobbed up too high. Kucherov the keep. Barberio breaks to the net, and right in front was Tyler Johnson, but that shot gloved down by Pekka Rinne.
Preds have a good look at the other end. Watch the job Ryan Callahan does to get in front of the Shea Weber shot. I agree with you, Pete. Questionable judgment. Oh, what a gritty play, though. Gosh, just terrific. Weber is standing on it from 15 feet out if Callahan doesn't get there. And then Rinne finding that one through all kinds of traffic. Tyler Johnson in front. Though I'd rather Tyler Johnson providing the traffic than 6'7" Brian Boyle. We're talking about nearly a 12-inch spread between the two.
Yes. Certainly are, as that deflects in on Vasilevsky, who took over earlier here in the second period at 6:47 after the Predators got their third goal. Under 20 seconds remaining in the second. Fed ahead for Kucherov. Johnson driving down the middle. Good battle there by Ekholm.
Great recovery by Ekholm. Was concerned he maybe had lost a half step on Kucherov.
And the puck is given right away to Beck, who's able to clear it as time runs out in period number 2. So they trade goals in that period. The Predators will emerge with a 1-goal lead again after 40 minutes. Coming up, Kings and Islanders highlights. Lindsay Rowley chatting with assistant coach Phil Housley, and we'll have highlights and stats. All that upcoming in our second intermission. Tampa Bay in the period with 7 shots and the Predators with 9. It's Nashville 3 and Tampa Bay 2 as we head toward third period action. Teams coming back out on the ice from their rooms. Pete Weber and Stu Grimson. And this is still a question. The President's Trophy race. Who will end up with the best overall record in the NHL?
Very much up in the air. You certainly have to like the Rangers' chances the way they're playing. Look at 10 games remaining. That's 2 on most of the competition, and them just 1 point back of the leading Montreal Canadiens. But Pete, I'll make the point again. For me, the Preds, 6th spot, 2 back of the leader, the Montreal Canadiens. In spite of that awful 11-game stretch they had, these guys are still very much in the mix to host every round should they go deep.
And here you have Tampa Bay leading the NHL in goals in the third period. 94. Well, hey, they lead the league in goals, so they should be up there, right?
Well, and look at, just to give you a little context on that, the league average is 68 goals. You're talking 26 goal spread above the league average for the Tampa Bay Lightning. These guys play well when with the game on the line, and it certainly is here tonight, trailing by a single tally as we enter third period action. It's been a great one so far. I doubt the third disappoints. I doubt that very much.
And And we've already experienced, you saw those other third period goal totals, the comeback ability of the Anaheim Ducks.
Is that a word?
Yes, it is now.
You made it thus.
Yes. I talked with my buddy Webster. Up the board for Philip Forsberg. Held there by Filppula. And taken away from in front of the net by Ribeiro. Knocked down. Filppula. And sent back into the Nashville zone, but not very deeply, by Cedric Paquette, who returned to the lineup tonight for the Lightning. Garrison. Matthew Carl, who started his career out of Denver University, where his brother is an assistant coach yet. He started his career with San Jose. There's a quick shot over the net, taken by Palat on the setup by Johnson. 3-2. Predators the lead. Palat trying a shake and bake move on Ekholm. Play broken up in front. Did not get through to Pekka Rinne. Palat strong on the puck, but poked away behind him. Flipped off the boards by Colin Wilson. Hedman. Long pass. Kucherov. Crossing there with Johnson. Couldn't come out of the corner with that. Started back out. Roman Josi. Josi down the left side. Palat sticking with him like Velcro.
How frequently do you see that play on any given night? Roman Josi knifing through neutral ice to push the attack deep into the offensive zone.
And a pass trying to come out in front. Vasilevsky got over to his left.
Colin Wilson steps up out from behind the goal line inside the Tampa Bay zone. Actually gets a poke at that. It goes out the other side. Vasilevsky is able to keep it out of the back of the net.
From the left side, tipped in by Beck. Vasilevsky onto the board, wide of Killorn, and thrown wide of the net from the blue line by Ryan Ellis.
Smart play by Ryan Ellis, under pressure by Stamkos.
Stamkos setting up the man in front. Killorn stoned by Pekka Rinne at 2:15 of the third.
This is just a terrific feed by Stamkos. Watch him delay, let Killorn get into a spot, and then here's the second piece. Pekka Rinne, high quality chance for Tampa. Rinne tracks it, smothers it, steers it out the other side. Another big save from the Finnish netminder.
And that one blockered away. The shot taken by Barberio. Barberio hustling back ahead of Fort. Schuster bothered for a moment there in the right corner. Cross ice pass Callahan. Stamkos down the middle. Callahan tried to center, but it went behind Stamkos. Arvidsson was knocked down, but the Predators come out. Flipped to the corner by Ekholm.
Schuster played that pretty well. He took away Ekholm's angle. Wasn't able to get a good pass into Kelly Yarncroke on the 2-on-1.
Predators slow down their exit. Now Brian Boyle. Predators in the midst of a change themselves. Fed back now for Hedman. Picked up, and a shot blocked up and out of play with 3:09 gone in the period. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, coming away on Fox Sports 1, can West Virginia shock the college basketball world with an upset of Kentucky? How does Chase Elliott feel about replacing Jeff Gordon in the Sprint Cup Series? And as opening day approaches, they have a sit-down with World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner. And who knows, maybe they offered him a cow. That's what Madison gave his wife for their wedding present.
Blast to the Red Hot Romantics. No,
yeah, no question. No question. Taken out of that corner, flipped up the board, and to center ice where it's retrieved by Brown. Stepped outside the blue line. Brown tried to play it in. Wilson prevents that. Hedman, the defenseman, steps up, carries in, gave it right to Mike Fisher.
Good spot for Fisher to be in a key passing lane. Wilson with a strong play, too, to close off Brown.
Oh, Arvidsson did a beautiful job avoiding a hip check on the sidewall, brought the puck in, but offside. You know, we talked about the President's Trophy. How desirable is it to win?
Not as desirable as you might think at first blush.
Nope. There have been 28 winners since they started in 85-86. 6 of them have gone on to win the Stanley Cup. An additional 3 lost in the first round of the playoffs. And there were, you know, pretty bad situation there. It's no guarantee whatsoever. And the last was the Chicago Blackhawks in a shortened season 2013. They are the only ones in the last 7 years.
My 90-91 Chicago Blackhawks won and lost in the first round. Won the President's Trophy, lost in the first round. Minnesota North Stars. And I'll tell you what, for high expectations to wrap it up that early, that's a whipsaw of emotions.
Is it ever?
No fun.
Is it ever? But again, no guarantees come. You have to play the games, folks. Flipped in. Cedric Paquette and in after it. Craig Smith pretty well hornswoggled down there. Out to the blue line. Nemesnikov, who had the first goal for Tampa Bay, was thinking wraparound again. That turned away from him by Ribeiro. Backhander by Carl into that fracas in front. Very calmly, the puck pulled under control by Pekka Rinne.
Nemesnikov, author of the early goal to effectively get this group, Tampa, back into a 2-1 game. First one for Tampa. We mentioned earlier, Father Evgeny played 2 games for the Nashville Predators back in 99-2000. Uncle Slava Kozlov, teammate of mine, Detroit Red Wings. So hockey courses through those veins, through that bloodline without question.
But unlike, as Kucherov lost control of it, unlike Alex Galchenyuk, he was not born in Milwaukee while his father was playing there. Behind the Nashville net. Put onto the board. And again, Schuster. I don't know if he actually plays back at the blue line. He was down toward the corner.
Yeah, he is up on the attack, and certainly in the third, the way this group plays, and while trailing, all the elements point to an active Tampa Bay blue line getting up into the offensive action.
Stopped by Rinne. He'll cover up with Kucherov coming on and spraying up some snow.
Smart play by Rinne. Puck is chipped in. Easy enough to manage. He doesn't like what he sees. A pair of blue jerseys pushing down on either side into the passing lanes. Smart decision by Rinne to smother that off, slow down the momentum, and set up a face-off to his left. Järnkrok will take it.
Off the face-off. Slipped away from Stahlberg as he exited the zone. Knocked down was Callahan. Santorelli deflecting it in. And icing called here against the Predators. 5:49 off the third period clock.
Victor Stahlberg inserted back into the live action. He was injured versus the Montreal Canadiens last time out. Did not play in that game. 3-game point streak with an assist here tonight. And remember, before his recent recall, tearing it up down at the AHL level. 3 hat tricks in a span of 8 games for Victor Stahlberg, getting his game back in order. A couple of key injuries to him have made it a rough year for the Swedish forward.
Stamkos right in front, and Killorn's shot. That was stopped. Predators had an active stick in front of the net again. Alex Killorn off the board for Stamkos. Stamkos, the violent stops and starts. And a quick shot wide from the left circle. And that one deflecting out of play. 6:16 gone. Third period. Predators still looking for their first shot on goal in this period, leading by a goal.
Callahan's going to make a key play to that man, Killorn, but it's Calle Järnkrok who makes a great play. It's going to happen out the other side of the net. Watch it. Turnover. Stamkos to Killorn, and Järnkrok closes down on Killorn. Terrific read by Calle Järnkrok. We talked about the importance of playing the key forwards for the Tampa Bay Lightning here tonight. Good closing instincts. Calle Järnkrok, super on the defensive side of the puck.
Face-off win by the Lightning, blocked by Weber, and a follow-up misses to the short side. On the Predators' left side wall. Lightning took it deep again. Weber for Josi, and just enough mustard on that to get it out to center. They had looming at the line there. Arvidsson had Mike Fisher, but able to gather control.
Great defensive play by Josi. He's actually off balance as he makes that chip out of his zone.
Paquette backhanding across, no one there to try and tap it home for the Lightning. 3-2 Predators. Paquette lost it. Wilson's pass. Karam back for Nemestikov. Nemestikov going behind the net again. Forced wide by Seth Jones. Nemestikov tried to flip it in front. Broken stick down there for Ekholm as they scramble after it. Paquette. Filppula. A move around Wilson. Left side the shot off the pad of Pecorine. Came back in toward the net. Predators and the puck play with a high stick and the whistle here. 7:26 gone in the third period. Hey fans, you want to sit rinkside and cheer on the Preds? Now your chance. Xfinity from Comcast is giving away 2 tickets to the game on April 9th. Visit NashvillePredators.com/Xfinity to enter and pick up more details.
We got gold in the building, Amalie Arena.
Yes.
Preds fans abound. Reset this one just outside the Preds blue line. Ribeiro on Johnson.
Off back away from Kucherov. Carl, and that one goes out of play down into the 14th row.
Neutral ice play. Carl gets it on the D-to-D pass. He's trying to navigate the neutral zone, gain the center red, and push that deep into the Predator zone. Fronted then and there at the red line. He goes up and out of play and sets up a center ice faceoff.
Stick seemed to get up high on Taylor Beck on that faceoff. He goes back to the bench. Replaced right away by Craig Smith. Bourque. Over Drouin. Smith steals the puck away. Smith with the shot. Vasilevsky gave up a rebound, and then there's going to be a penalty called here for hooking. What tenacious play there by Craig Smith.
Great individual effort.
27, 2 minutes hooking.
27, 2 minutes. So Drouin hooking Craig Smith.
Look at Smith. He creates his own turnover, grabs it, shot from the outside, and then he forces his way towards the front of the net. Drouin's on the outside looking in. He catches a piece of Smith with the stick and effectively draws the hooking minor penalty. Great individual effort. I'll tell you what, at this stage in the game, that's the kind of play the Preds need. Territorial advantage has favored the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lots of time inside the Preds zone. Preds kind of holding them at bay. But you'd much rather play 200 foot from your own net at this point.
Predators get the puck back to Shea Weber. Philip Forsberg. Power play for Nashville. Tennessee lottery, and that shot by Weber deflected wide.
Watch the overload on Philip Forsberg. 2 Tampa Bay penalty killers attack, jump Forsberg on the half wall when with puck.
Scrambling for that puck down low. Weber fakes, gives it across. Tyler Johnson right in Weber's face. Palat then in the face of Josi, who broke his stick, has to go back for a replacement. Predators trying to maintain control in the Tampa end. They do as Josi returns to the attacking zone. Puck right in front, and oh, what a behind the back play by Forsberg. Josi with a drive, blocked out by Palat. Oh my, what an in-tight play by Forsberg. Taken away from Forsberg by Paquette.
Oh my gosh, Philip Forsberg walks out. He recognizes that Vasilevsky has it all shored up on the short side. He's trying to pull him off the post, and it goes back through his legs. credit Vasilevsky, he was not fooled.
That or just too slow to react.
Maybe so.
The puck deflected to the corner. Ellis comes straight away. Wilson from the corner to the blue line. One-timer Ellis. Off the stick of Vasilevsky, out of play.
Watch Forsberg with this chance. He comes out of the battle with the puck. Poked out by Fisher. He goes back through the legs, trying to elevate up and over Vasilevsky. Here it is from a different angle. Again. Oh, daddy, that's innovative. What a smart play.
All I can say to that is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly. I won't even try that in the alumni game.
Oh, you almost did. As the puck slides back out of the zone. 22 seconds remaining as Ribeiro settles it down. Predators a 3-2 lead. 16 seconds left on the man advantage. Seth Jones forced back and back by Filppula. Off the skate of Smith, who created this power play. Drilled around the wall. Drouin comes out of the box. And the Predators with 3 shots on net during that power play.
Well, and with the exception of the Forsberg opportunity, Preds unable to generate much. Strong kill. Tampa Bay Lightning.
Thrown across by Jarnkrok. Vasilevsky looking for the puck. And it comes away to his defense.
Smart feed by Jarnkrok. Spots Mike Santorelli going hard to the inside post. I believe Santorelli gets a piece of that.
Callahan from Stamkos. Callahan watching as Stamkos drives to the net, but Rinne puts that in his glove and holds on. 10:32 gone in the third. Predators in front. 3-2. And what a move by Forsberg. Vasilevsky was there. Predators up 3-2. Face off in the Nashville zone. Joined from the bench by goaltender Carter Hutton. Carter, that power play got the Predators putting some pressure on.
Yeah, you know, it's a big power play for us. Build some momentum here. You know, they've coming out here with a pretty big third period, and you know, from them, that's something, you know, you kind of expected all game here. But, you know, for us getting that power play, we can build off that momentum.
Tell Amadio to get out of the shot if you can help it, please. Hey, Carter, you know, I have a reason to talk about Filip Forsberg at least once a night to highlight something special he's done. Talk about his power play opportunity coming out of underneath the goal line. Great chance. Yeah, that's something, you know, Philip, he's kind of shown us that all year here. He's got such great hands and such poise for a young kid. You know, it's just, every game, you know, he ceases to amaze me. He's always doing something, and even in practice, he's working on something different all the time. A big stop here by Pex.
And speaking of traffic to the net, Carter, you certainly saw it there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is, you know, talking with the young kids this week, we were kind of doing some drills with Arvidsson and Fiala, you know, just trying to explain to them how much the traffic is so important. Fiala's getting in front and, you know, kind of drifting out of the way, and you're just trying to show them how, like, in this league, there's so much traffic, and you got to go to the net. You got to go to those tough areas to score goals. Seen Victor Arvidsson, his second game live action. Talk about his contribution. Sort of third game live action. He's been great. You know, the speed that he brings a, you know, he's just a little cannonball out there, and he's flying around, and he's fearless for a small kid, and, you know, he's definitely got a ton of potential, and he's showing it right now, that's for sure.
Thank you so much, Carter.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
9 minutes remaining in the third. Predators lead by a goal against the team that leads the league in both goals and third period goals. So over a third of their goals, though, and to this point of the season, they have scored 244, have come in the third period, as that shot by Palat is deflected out of play.
Would you believe that's nearly 10% better than the competition going into tonight? The Islanders, St. Louis Blues are 226 respectively. That's a pretty healthy lead on a couple of clubs. The Islanders, St. Louis are themselves awfully potent offensively.
Well, the Kings have just concluded a sweep of Metro New York with a 3-2 win at Long Island tonight.
That is no easy task, going through there and picking up points in all games.
I mean, particularly with the two labeled New York.
Right.
Seth Jones. Now flung into the zone by Ekholm. Smith banned on the side wall. Then Ribeiro tried to get it back to him. Brown comes out for Tampa Bay and rattles it in. He goes behind the net to beat Ekholm to the puck. His fourth line putting on the pressure. Brian Boyle laying on the body against the end board.
Nice play by Matthias Ekholm. Absorbs the contact, but still makes the play. The little chip into the weak corner so the Preds can exit.
And that puck inadvertently tipped out on a sweep attempt there by Ribeiro into the Tampa Bay bench. Let's look around the West. So we told you, Kings wrapped up their win at Long Island. Anaheim at Boston. Anaheim comes back again to force an overtime. Winnipeg leads at home over Montreal. Arizona wins in overtime at Buffalo.
A nail-biter. Gosh, I've been concerned about the outcome of that one.
We were supposed to have live cut-ins tonight, but something happened technologically.
What happened there?
San Jose, an advantage of a goal in the third period at Detroit. Later, Colorado at Vancouver.
What about Winnipeg? 3-1.
Yes.
At home to Montreal, a club coming in with an awfully stout record. They're playing some awfully inspired hockey, are those Jets.
I can only imagine how loud it is in the MTS Center tonight.
No fooling.
And Riosi's stick broke on him.
Second time this period.
Paquette to the goal. And that shot knocked down as Filppula was trying to go upper left-hand corner from his perspective. And off the blocker, it's an icing call against the Predators.
Roman Josi's in a tough spot. Stick explodes on him at the far blue. Watch the play. 25, Victor Stahlberg. Pivots. Puts his body in harm's way. Terrific block right there in the midsection. And then never mind. Second piece to all that. Collects it and helps Nashville transition back the other way. Gritty play. Victor Stahlberg putting it all on the line.
Face off left side of Rinne. Strowman at the point. He had no play but to get it as deep as he could there. Callahan hit by Ellis. Stamkos. He might be the only player in the league with negative body fat. As the puck rolls over to the right wing side and Ellis cleared it through the defense.
Another disciple of one Gary Roberts, former teammate of mine, now trainer to the high-end NHL talent. He does a terrific job with these guys.
Coming out from behind the net, Hedman. Callahan, a backhand feed. Killorn lost it. Stamkos tries to get it back, but it's backhanded out by Bourque.
Great support once again by Gabby Bourque. Beck is involved in the battle for a loose puck. Bourque arrives in support. Knew I was going to jam that up.
And now a try by Killorn, dragging it back and shooting it, but wide. Lightning have outshot Nashville 24-18. 5 shots aside in the third. Tyler Johnson tried to center. Arvidsson, and with some help, the Predators are able to clear. Kucherov on the Nashville bench. That is Schuster, the defenseman, was going in, trying to press the attack, and the Predators got a bit of a break there off the linesman's skates as he propped himself up on the Tampa Bay bench. Tyler Johnson moved around Arvidsson. Johnson delays. Schuster with the blast, tipped. Rinne got the left pad out.
Super save by Rinne through lots of traffic and a redirect on the way.
Cleared to center ice. Tyler Johnson again. Johnson for Palat. Palat holds on, goes cross ice to Carl, and Carl's shot is wide. Schuster blocked there by Ribeiro. Puck squirts out. Schuster elected to lay off, and Ribeiro took advantage and took it out and flipped it in.
Smart play by Ribeiro to sense the time and space that he has. Hold it longer, allow for a full line to reset.
Motoring through to center ice. Coming in is Drouin. Boyle tries to feed it back to him, and Rinne makes the stop on the wrister on net by Brian Boyle. Alex Killorn had a great chance to try and tie this one up. Pekka Rinne equal to the task. There's 4:51 left in regulation. Let's get to our Bridgestone performance moment of the game. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.
Terrific individual play, Mike Santorelli. Watch this. The cutback is the key. First step comes quick after the stop, backhand. Then he gets his rebound on the forehand, and just a little bit of space between the outstretched skate of Bishop and the inside post. Mike Santorelli squeezes it through. That's the third, and to this point, it holds up as the leading goal for the Preds. First one, second tour of duty, Mike Santorelli.
Boy, a real scrum on the face-off, and the Lightning's attacking in. Predators managed to flip it out to center ice. Filppula coming down the left side. He put it right on the stick of Järnkrok.
Järnkrok is often in the right spot. Good defensive posture, mid-pocket, inside the Nashville zone. He intercepts the errant pass and sends it the distance.
So icing called here against Nashville.
Would you agree with me? I'm guessing just in terms of territorial advantage, 2/3, 1/3 perhaps in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
They've holed up in the offensive zone a good bit here tonight. I credit the Preds. They've done a pretty good job holding the middle of the ice, keeping the attack to the outside. Well, without question, Tampa is pressing. We talked plenty about their record in the final frame, the third period. They're a potent bunch. And the ice has been tilted in their favor here. Final stanza.
Predators take the time out at 15:31. Preds fans, get closer to the action with Predators Live, presented by Nissan. Tune in for all the pregame excitement and the postgame analysis. It's Nashville's finest. Don't miss Predators Live before and after the game on Fox Sports Tennessee. We'll be joining you Saturday morning at 11 o'clock with Predators Live, the pregame edition against Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals from the Verizon Center in the Chinatown section of the District of Columbia.
Well, the Preds have done a pretty good job to this point, bottling up second leading goal scorer, Steven Stamkos. He's got 40 coming into tonight's contest. Tougher task just down the road. Washington Capitals, of course, boasting leading goal scorer, 47 on the year, Alex Ovechkin.
On the faceoff, flip to the corner. Shea Weber in pursuit. A backhander flipped right on by Callahan coming out, and tripping is going to be called. A power play for the Lightning at 15:41.
It's a terrific individual effort. Ryan Callahan. Weber's trying to outlet on the far side. What Callahan grabs it. He knocks it down off the back wall. He pulls it out to the front of the net. Yossi's behind it. Gets his stick into the undercarriage and trips up Callahan as he steps out above the goal.
So the puck is swept back to Hedman. 1-goal lead for Nashville. Lightning on the power play. A rebound not allowed by Rinne. Duran was most immediately in the vicinity.
Alex Killorn provides the heavy lifting and the obstruction in front. Puck is going to be cycled in there. Off the stick of Filppula. Killorn providing the screen in front. Rinne is solid.
Hedman the one-timer, and that was deflected. And actually, he broke his stick in the process of getting the shot away. Again, it's broken stick night here at Amalie Arena. Going to back up the wall there. Ekholm. Yossi is in the box. And just enough on that by Bourque to force Hedman to go back and pick up.
Good read by Bourque to get down under the goal line and support. Matty Ekholm needed help to get that puck out of the zone.
Boy, what a job there by Järnkrok, and then fired down ice by Mike Fisher. 1 minute remains in the Yossi penalty, 3:19 in regulation. Predators up 3-2.
Would not be surprised to see the Bolts pull Vasilevsky, but does not appear it's going to happen.
As tipped into the zone. Santorelli with the Predators' third goal. 3 minutes remaining in regulation. 38 seconds on this power play as Tyler Johnson flings it in. Ellis comes over to the corner, and Johnson wasn't able to block that clearing pass.
Johnson gets down in a hurry. Ellis beats him to it, and a great little release just as he gets to that battle for the loose puck, grabs it, sends it the entire distance.
Hammered into the zone. Weber has it. Ekholm has a lot of room, and he uses it to clear. 5 seconds remain. And now the power play has run its course. 2 shots on net during the power play for Tampa Bay. And that puck goes out of play down into the first row. And they'll face it off at center ice. Now, are they going to call? They're going to meet here. No. So coming up on our post game, reaction from the Predators room, scores, highlights. Oh, now Carl is going to go in.
Yeah, that's what the Preds were arguing in the first instance. They're saying that puck was shot from within the Tampa Bay zone and out of play, well into neutral ice, but out of play nonetheless, opposite side of the rink. There we show you. Just before Carl arrives at the line, he's trying to give the opposite winger a chip, something to drop on the ice in front of him.
And here come the Lightning shorthanded. Paquette curls on the board. And the shot goes wide by Garrison. And the rebound picked up by Weber. Paquette, like Boyle, a threat shorthanded. Predators just, it's almost like a defensive approach to the power play. Keep the puck in the Tampa Bay end. Penalty time 17:48. Cleared down by Paquette. Boyle goes in. Rene in that trapezoid area. And Boyle was trying to steal that away. That's the Lightning's best chance. Tipped in by Colin Wilson. Up the wall for Palat. The long cleared. Did that hit off the scoreboard?
Better be careful. That's what I was thinking. I mean, Palat, you put that up into the new clock. That'll cost you about 10 sheets.
Flipped into the zone by Ribeiro. 47 seconds remaining on this man advantage. The Lightning break up ice. To the bench goes Vasilevsky. He arrives there with 53 seconds to go. So the Lightning down a goal have pulled their goalie. And the shot, Rene gathers it in at the top of his goal crease. With 44 seconds remaining on the clock, 32 seconds on the Carl penalty.
Rene with a terrific save off the stick of Stamkos. Hedman will throw it back to Stamkos. Quick little release. That's the Stamkos release. It gets it off in a hurry. He is lethal from anywhere inside the offensive zone. Fortunately for Rene, he sees it all develop, and he's got a great lane to look at as Stamkos throws it at the Nashville net.
Face-off Nashville end. Lightning taking the risk, pulling their goaltender down a goal. Hedman at center. Stamkos checked by Weber. They negate each other. And then Fisher tried to play it out, deflected, I believe, off Stamkos over the glass.
Yeah, I believe you're right about that. Fisher, Josi together jump on Stamkos. Battle for a loose puck. It goes off a defending player, out of play. Fisher's arguing. Yeah, Fisher's arguing it's off the offensive player.
Face off to the right of Rene. Going around the boards. Good job, Garrison, for the keep-in. Josi. Bostad turns, tries to sweep it over. At the blue line, Garrison the keep-in. Garrison the shot blocked. A stick is dropped. Nice soccer kick there, trying to clear it out by Fisher. And it bounces around Josi to Stamkos. 3 seconds remain. Puck popped up in the air. Over to the corner. And the Predators are going to hold on and win this game 3-2. Going against the Beasts of the East back-to-back in Nashville Tuesday. In Tampa Bay here tonight, the Predators prevailed 3-2 over the Lightning.
Tampa Bay pressing in a big way, dying seconds of the third period. What a key play. Mike Fisher, without the stick, makes a key block and then kicks it to the far corner. As far away from the Nashville net as he possibly can.
So the Predators take this match 3-2. as they now go to 100 points on the season themselves. 46-21-8. The Lightning 46-22-7. Stay tuned. Our post-game edition of Predators Live is coming up after these messages.